Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We got another Pistons draft video for you guys. I made a video a couple of days ago, or maybe last week, saying the Pistons, do you want first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth pick? Yeah, ideally. But you can't always get what you want, and fifth pick is the perfect opportunity for the Detroit Pistons. I think getting outside of 5 is really where things start to get a little bit more risky, I would say. But being 5, you're still relatively flexible, which is something that GM Troy Weaver is definitely looking for and wants with his basketball squad. So we have a mock draft here. I was reading an article from the Detroit Free Press, and they had, some NBA expert, Jonathan Givenoy or something like that, has Keegan Murray going to the Detroit Pistons in his latest mock draft. And I want to kind of talk about it a little bit because we mentioned Jaden Ivey joining, like how crazy Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham would look as a backcourt duo. But, for argument's sake, we are going to talk about Keegan today. Keegan is pretty money. He was literally the second most productive player in the entire NCAA last year. He possesses everything. I don't really know why he isn't getting that much draft stock. I would imagine, projected number 5 is really solid, but you could definitely argue like a top 3 pick with this guy, top 4 pick. There's a ton of mock drafts where Keegan goes number 4. So, looking at him on the Pistons, I'm thinking about Jeremy Grant, and, I'm a Grant fan. I think he's solid, but he's entering his last year of his 3-year, $60 million contract. And I would say Detroit is probably looking to try and get some value from him. I don't really think Jeremy Grant on a championship team is even my third option. No disrespect to Grant because he's a hell of a basketball player. But if I'm Detroit and I have the 5th pick, you already have Cade Cunningham. Jeremy Grant, he's a little bit on the older side. I just don't really think he fits the timetable. I just don't really think he's the best option for Detroit because of, financially, you're going to have to financially take care of him. If you want to keep him, if you want to retain him, you're going to have to compensate him properly. And I just don't think that's in the Pistons' best interest. I don't really know if Troy Weaver, I know they've got that connection, but I don't really think Jeremy Grant will be on this roster at this time next season. He will be a free agent, but I don't think he'll get re-signed. So, Keegan, we got a quote here. Murray's cerebral, not great at that word, approach and steady demeanor should fit in well with franchise-building block Cade Cunningham with his dynamic shooting ability, how he ignites the break off the defensive glass, and the versatility he brings defensively. So, if you're the Pistons, you have essentially a couple of options. I'm getting a call here. Don't want to answer you. You have a couple of options. You're probably going to be getting either Jaden Ivey, Shaedon Sharpe, or Keegan Murray. All 3 of those, you have your positives, you have your downsides. But Keegan, in my eyes, he's a pretty sturdy, solid pick. Looking at his stats last season, they're pretty actually unreal. And keep in mind, this cat's out of Iowa. He's a 6'8" power forward out of Iowa. We got his weight here, 225, so you're not going to have any he's not like Chet, where you're I believe Chet's weighing in right now at 195. So, he's not super skinny, he's not super big. So he's kind of in that perfect medium where he's still able to be athletic and versatile, especially on the defensive end. Statistically looking at him, you're in the Big Ten, you're in Iowa. It's a great basketball conference. It's a great conference in general. I don't pay attention too much to the NCAA, so maybe Iowa had a down year, but I have a hard time imagining Iowa was that out of it. So my guess is once we start getting closer to the draft day, which is less than 3 weeks from the time of this recording, you're probably going to see a lot of Keegan Murray hype. He'll probably start creeping in to number 4 a lot more than he is right now. Jaden Ivey's one hell of a player. Very, very, very flashy, very athletic. He has that pizzazz. And like I said, if I'm Detroit, Jaden Ivey's on the board, I'm probably picking Jaden Ivey. He's got that John Morant-esque athleticism that with Cade Cunningham, that's one scary-ass combo. But Keegan in this past year with Iowa, 23.5 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 1.5 blocks, 1.5 assists, 1.9 blocks. So essentially 2 blocks a game, 1.3 steals, and then he shot 55% from the field with 16 attempts per game. And with 5 threes per game, this dude shot 40%. So if you want to nitpick him, there is nothing to nitpick him on offense. Literally, absolutely nothing except maybe passing. But how many power forwards are there out there that are like phenomenal passers? I'll wait. So his biggest concern is evidently defense. You go and you watch Big Ten highlights of this cat, I have no worries for him defensively. Maybe he's going to, as every freaking rookie does, he's going to come out into his rookie season, and yes, he will struggle at times. He's going to show, teams are going to take advantage of every rookie's weakness, right? So Keegan, he's got to, he'll get more polished once he adjusts to the NBA speed. Long term, I have zero worries about Keegan Murray's defense, especially if you pair him up with a big-ass center, a big-bodied bulldozer center who's, just that guy, Beef Stew, who's also, might I add, extremely underrated. I mean, Beef Stew is vastly underrated. My buddy actually just, I guess he technically met him, but he was, my buddy's from Rochester. My old college roommate's from Rochester, and he was out to lunch one day or dinner one day, and he saw Isaiah Stewart and got a picture with him, and it's just super dope. But Beef Stew, for some reason, is just like unbelievably underrated. But especially if you pair him with him, Murray and Stewart, I don't have worries defensively. So you could have like kind of just a pretty enticing, young three players. I don't want to disrespect Killian Hayes, so we'll throw in Killian and Sadiq because I do think obviously they're both talented basketball players. Killian, you have some you have some consistency worries, you do have some injury concerns, but Sadiq Bey really, he had probably the most low-key 50-pointer of the season, which sounds absurd to say. He had 50 points, and for some reason, unless you're a Pistons fan, you forgot about that. So you'd be going into your young core next season would look, and it's extremely versatile, it's extremely flexible. You have a bunch of different guys who are good in a number of different ways. So you'd have Killian Hayes, you'd have Cade Cunningham, you've had Sadiq Bey, Keegan Murray, and Isaiah Stewart. That's a pretty solid, I'm not saying that would be the starting five, but that's a pretty freaking solid five-man young core. If you have two of those players pan out, Cade Cunningham is looking like he is going to pan out. If you just get one more star out of those five players, I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. And Pistons fans, I don't even have to tell this to you guys, right? I make these Pistons videos, and I'm like, gassing them up. I'm hyping them up, and I'm saying, this is a squad. This will be a squad very soon. Yeah, are they going to be the fourth seed in the East next season? No. But 3 years from now, could they be title contenders? Absolutely. Like I said, man, you get two stars from your kind of five young players. Troy Weaver, financially versatile. You want to be flexible, right? So 2-3 seasons from now, not only are they going to have a couple stars that they acquired through the draft, but they're also going to have a couple of stars and a couple super solid players just because they're going to have that kind of money. That they're going to be able to look at who they want and they're going to be able to pay that dude. It's it's kind of scary, man. It's kind of scary, being a Bulls fan out here in Chicago. You got to respect Detroit, man. You really do. And I think the NBA world will wake up to that after the fifth pick. Whoever they get at number 5, I think the world will wake up to that. So that's it for today, man. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that sub button as always. I love making Pistons videos. I hope you guys enjoy them as well. Drop a comment down below. But either way, I'm going to be making a ton of Pistons content all summer. And I want to give a shout out to my boy Joe Polo. He's the best Pistons content creator I can think of that I actively watch. And I just want to give love to him. So peace. Started this daily live NBA show. We're going to have some sweet people on it. It's live every morning on YouTube at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be on streaming platforms afterwards. Great things coming. The link's going to be in the bio. It's going to be in the comment section of all of my videos. So I hope to see you guys there.